everybody. Welcome to the Shelemah. Hi, welcome to the Shelemah Show. I am your host, Shelemah Griffiths Johnson. Today is officially the last day of the year. 2019 has been a challenging year for me, but I was able to persevere through it. There are a lot of people I would like to take time out to thank. First, to the best mom in the universe. I love you and thank you for everything you do for me. You never let me down. Thanks for supporting me through everything I do, no matter what it is. God bless you forever. Thanks to my grandparents, Arthur and Charlotte Farhat, for being there for me and for their love and support they give me. Thank you, Mr. Tom, my lead producer here at BCMC, for all your hard work behind the scenes. 2019 was a lot of fun, and it had a lot of good times, like taping these numerous shows. We were able to get through 6 shows. This will be our 7th show. And for a rookie, that wasn't so bad. Today I want to recap season 1. My first show was about the evolution of gaming. And a special thank you to Mr. Gordon Bellamy for letting me interview you. And also my friends, my gaming enthusiasts, Noah Lewis, Caleb Fayton, and Carson Edwards. Let's take a look at some clips.
We're live with Gordon Bellamy, veteran of 20 years in the gaming industry, engineering grad from Harvard College, and currently the head of the USC Bridge Incubator Program. He is also the designer of the popular game Madden NFL and the recipient of the 2018 GDC Lifetime Achievement Award. Mr. Bellamy, from the history of gaming, what has significantly influenced your path in the industry?
I think the rise of mobile gaming has been the biggest thing, because that means that anyone, anywhere in the world can play the same games.
What contribution to the gaming industry are you most proud of and why?
Well, I've had the good fortune to design some big games like Madden football, but the biggest thing, the biggest impact has been hiring interns that have stayed in the industry for 20, 30 years. Like, that's the most important thing to me.
What are you most excited about when it comes to the future of gamification?
I think the most exciting thing is players customizing their own experiences and like games really being a service to players. That's the thing I look forward to the most in all the games I play nowadays.
Who would you consider the rightful father of gaming?
Well, I think you're asking between like Higgins, Boson, and Bear. I think gaming has 2 dads. I think making games and design matters, but also making games accessible to people. And so they're both the fathers of those 2 things. One made the first game, but one made the first game everyone could play.
I would like to introduce my focus group. My colleagues, Caleb Fayton, Noah Lewis, and Carson Edwards are here today. What did you learn from the evolution of gaming video?
What I learned from the evolution of gaming video is that as games progressed and got better and better, games got more fun for everyone, and there was more games being created and more games for everyone to play. So like in the beginning of gaming, there was just like one color lines going across the screen, but now there's really realistic characters in battle scenes and cutscenes and all that with voice acting and CG animation. So I think gaming has come a really far way, is what I learned from, a really long way is what I learned from the video.
Okay, I agree, because back then gaming, the graphics were absolutely terrible. It looked like pixel art now. There's an app called Pixel Art. It just looks like that. And now there are games like FIFA 19, Madden 19. The graphics, they even added sweat and things like that. I don't know why they did it. It just makes it look unrealistic, though.
I somewhat disagree with Noah, because adding sweat into the game actually makes it more realistic. Because if you watch sports today, you would see that all sports players sweat, because they're playing sports. So I think that adding sweat would actually make it more realistic experience. But I can understand why adding way too much sweat would make it a little less realistic, because in some of the sports games that I've seen, no one sweats that much. Like, they're just completely doused in sweat, and it really looks weird.
No, so what I mean by that, I mean, like, when it's like the 3rd minute of the game, it has like, when the sweat appears on the character, it makes the whole face yellow, and that's what I mean by it makes it look unrealistic.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
I would get that too, yeah.
Do you disagree with anything in the video, and why? Okay, I kind of disagree about like what the future technology, because you don't really know what's going to happen in the future, and it might not get that advanced, or it might get more advanced like that.
It's thing is we can like make a hypothesis about what can video games be in the future, and we can just go off about the games we have right now to interpret what games we're gonna have in the future.
What are some of your video games that you guys like to play?
Some of my favorite video games, well, I don't really have a number one favorite, but I do have a number of them. So some of my favorite video games include NBA 2K19, the NBA 2K series, Rocket League, and Fortnite, which is a very common game to be one of your favorites.
Okay, I have a couple of favorite video games because I play a lot. Rocket League, WWE 2K17. Mostly 17 because I think it was the best of all of them. FIFA 19, Roblox, and most of all, Fortnite.
Yeah. I have my favorite game to play, what I think is most addictive is to play is Call of Duty Black Ops 4. That's my favorite.
This is one of my favorite shows. I love the way that I was able to take something that many parents view as addictive and turn it into something educational. Speaking of educational, this next clip in my second show features Miguel Coppedge, a teenage author and entrepreneur. Roll that clip. So, if you don't mind me asking, why did you write the book Friendly Officers?
I wrote it so I can build relationships with kids and police officers in a positive way, so they won't think that police are always bad or how they're portrayed to be in this day and age.
Okay, like how the different shootings, I believe,
Yes.
and like to show them that they're not as bad. Like most police officers are to help protect you,
Right.
not to make you scared or harm yourself.
Right. Exactly. That's basically what I want to happen with kids, with their relationships with police officers.
Hello, my name is Miguel Coppedge. I am the author of The Adventures of Fireman and The Adventures of Fireman and the Case of the Stinger. But today I'm here to talk about my third book, Friendly Officers. Officer Anderson loves coaching football with the youth every year. He says it brings him joy to serve the youth of his community, and for some he serves as a mentor. Officer Jefferson supports young entrepreneurs such as myself and encourages us to be great and stay positive. Officer Thomas volunteers to read books to children weekly and enjoys it very much. Officer Coleman loves to play games and have dance-offs with the children he comes across daily. Officer Adams teaches fitness to adults and senior citizens to keep them healthy. Officer Cradle helps the youth of his community make short films and teach them how to use their imaginations and creativity to change the world.
Why is promoting officers so important to you?
It is so important to me because, like I said, I don't want children to be afraid of police officers. And I want to show my friends, because I know some of my friends are afraid of police officers. And that's why I do a lot of these events with police officers, so I can show other people that police officers can help you in many different ways. They're very positive, very friendly. That's why I made friendly officers too.
So how do you feel about being a change maker?
I feel great. I feel like I inspire others in many different positive ways.
Sure to inspire me.
Thank you. You inspire me also.
Thank you.
I want to just inspire young kids or people that are my age or older that they can do anything they put their mind to. That's very positive, and make it a passion, or like just make it a passion, basically.
Miguel was recently featured in the Washington Former, where he donated 100 Care Comfort bags to other foster children. In episode 3, we have the amazing culture queen, who has been my childhood favorite. She has been inspiring me and others how to love the skin we are in. Through dance, music, and stories, she teaches African American children that they are beautiful and strong. She wants us to know that we are descendants of kings and queens. What inspired you to come up with this innovative way with connect with children?
Well, Prince Shelemiah, I've always been working with children ever since I was a very, very little girl. In fact, my first business was a babysitter's club that was inspired by the chapter books I used to read. I love babies and working with children, and I've always, just about every job I've ever had has been working with children. And so what inspired me was I wanted to find a way to teach children like yourself about your history and culture in a way that was fun so that you would remember it and want to participate. I didn't want it to be boring or sad, because even if, when you talk about African American history, there's so many great things you can talk about, but I feel like with kids, if it's not fun, then you know, you might not want to do it, and I like to have fun too, so I try to teach in a way that I would want to learn. I also get to write books and write productions, and I have a new book that just came out. You want to know about it?
Sure.
Well, it's called I Like the Me I See, and it is the follow-up to my album. And the really cool thing about the book is that I got to work with a really amazing illustrator who took the words that I had and brought them to life with beautiful illustrations.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it helps children to really identify with their to body positivity so they feel good about themselves. Like, let me ask you this. What's a part of you that you really love?
I gotta say my eyebrows. And
Eyebrows.
My hair. And my hair.
You have very nice eyebrows and you have very fabulous hair. So like for here in the book, like you can see, I like the me I see, and let's say we have a page for that. You could say, I like my hair. It's supposed to be there. So touch your hair. I like my hair. It's supposed to be there. You said you like your eyes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that one. You got, wait. You're gonna say, I like my eyes.
Okay.
Try that. Say, I like my eyes, I can see the world wide. Go. I like my eyes, I can see the world wide. And what do your eyes see? What place in the world do you see?
Africa.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and speaking of Adinkra symbols, there are Adinkra symbols all over this book. It's just,
those are...
yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, there's
That's
Adinkra
cool.
symbols all over the book. That's what I have for the wallpaper. That's how much I love Adinkra symbols.
Gotta love Culture Queen. She teaches us that we are the future of Black history. In episode 4, we got to meet Curtis Lawrence, 15-year-old George Washington University freshman, his brother, Corey Lawrence, and Tiger Mom, Malene Lawrence. Take a look. Curtis, can you tell me your story behind it?
So it all started when I was a baby. My mom, who is a very strong advocate for education, being an educator herself, she taught both of us how to read at the age of 2, and she searched out educational opportunities, and she found this really good preschool by the name of Kitty College, and there we learned 2-digit addition and multiplication as well as advanced reading. Wow. After that, I went to a gifted public school in Harlem, New York, known as Tag Young Scholars for 1st through 3rd grade, where I was on a 3rd grade reading level in 1st grade, and I learned advanced math.
From there, after 3rd grade, my dad's job brought us to San Antonio, Texas, where I ended up, because of my gifted education, I ended up skipping the 4th grade and going straight into 5th grade.
Wow. What are your plans after GW?
So I plan to continue doing my bachelor's degree at either Florida A&M University in Tallahassee or at North Carolina A&T, which is a very esteemed STEM HBCU. I want to continue doing my bachelor's. I want to have the HBCU experience for my undergraduate degree. And then for my graduate degree, I want to be able to go to other schools. So I would definitely want to try going west because that's where most geological opportunities are. And so one of my main choices is Arizona State University for master's and possibly PhD. And I've also thought about going to Harvard or MIT because they're good. They have some good geology programs there. And then after that, I would continue with my career in paleontology. I want to major in biology, geology, and computer science. So either, if I go to FAMU or North Carolina A&T, I'd most likely major in biology and computer science and have a minor in African American studies. And then after that, I would have my career as a paleontologist, hopefully, and a computer scientist. And then most likely, hopefully, I'll be able to travel abroad. China is a very good opportunity for especially paleontology because there's been a ton of recent discoveries in China. China's a huge place. There's so many things to see, so many things to discover, so many discoveries to be made. So I would most likely use my knowing Chinese to go to China and be able to possibly study there and work there.
Hey guys, we're back, and now we have Miss Malene Lawrence, our Tiger Mom, here with us today. So how are you?
Thank you so much, Shelemiah, for having me today. I will wear that badge well. Yes, I am a Tiger Mom, and I think that it's really important that parents are deliberate and intentional about their children and the paths that they want their children to take. And so with both Curtis and Corey, I've been just that literally since they were born, very deliberate and intentional.
Now those are some big shoes to fill, but achievable if you follow Tiger Mom Malene's advice. In episode 5, we had an amazing photographer, Auntie Jackie. She is Prince George's County's very own Jackie Hicks. Her business name is Fond Memories. She covers all the who's who events in the county. She is a portrait artist who has been recognized for her amazing work. Let's roll it.
Also, about another project that I'm starting to get into, and I'm very heavy on the homeless and giving back to the homeless. And I think that that's something that's very important in the world. We're all not that as, fortunate. So what we need to do is try to see how we can help others. So that's one of my goals as well.
At the inauguration, I believe?
Yes. For our first woman and first African-American woman, the county executive, Miss Angela also Brooks.
Yes. I remember that, and that really made history that day.
Yes, it did. Yes, so proud. We are Prince George's proud.
Yes, so didn't you cover that event as well?
Yes, I did. Yes, I was there covering that event. And then I think we have another project that I enjoy doing too, and that's for the homeless. So every birthday I go back out and give to the homeless bags of things that they may need for personal belongings, food, and clothing.
The quality photos you see in my intro are done by Jackie Hicks herself. She has always been a great supporter of me in this show. She says, life is like a camera. We capture the good times, we develop from the negative, and when things don't come out right, take another shot. Isn't that brilliant? In episode 6, I got to hang out with 2 junior critics at the Bowie, Maryland Regal Cinemas, where we watched the new film, Harriet. Producer, let's show them what it's all about.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I don't know if you know how extraordinary this is, but you have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Harriet Tubman.
let's talk about some of the actors and actresses that were in this phenomenal movie. So I know there's one person I really want to cover. Her name is Janelle Monáe, and she was the never a slave, free African-American woman that taught Harriet how to live in a white community, in a mostly white community. So yes, what do you guys think on that?
Well, yeah, that was very interesting for me because, as you mentioned, she was born free, and so she had never had the taste of slavery, like Harriet said later in the speech, where she was with the Slave Association, and she was talking about how most of the people that were there had never experienced slavery before. So it was very interesting how she still decided to help her people and bring them into the white community and treat them to act like white people and be bold in their freedom.
I think what really surprised me was that she was free all of her life, but it seemed like maybe it was because she thought that the rules were unjust, and that she was really, really lucky to be in the situation that she was where majority of African Americans were enslaved, that she felt like she understood the slaves so well and she made her own industry where to help slaves who have made it free from their enslavement.
Harriet Tubman is one of the most famous abolitionists in history. She herself did the run to freedom of 100 miles on her own, and then came back 13 times and saved 70 enslaved people single-handedly, and then was one of the first women to lead an armed battalion and then brought to freedom over 750 enslaved people. She was a remarkable woman who did a lot in her lifetime. She lived till she was 91.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad.
Harriet's story has that in it anyway. She sang to communicate. The use of the spiritual was to communicate. Some of the verses would be coded with instruction. So she would sing to tell them that she was there, or that she was leaving, or that it wasn't time yet, or that time was coming soon. And so I just happened to be lucky enough to be able to sing. And so we had to find the right sound that would be right for her.
You got lucky, Harriet. There's nothing more you can do.
Don't you tell me what I can't do. I made it this far on my own.
I hope that the viewers will get that from her, she was 5 foot woman who was, I guess, doubted consistently, managed to find the power within herself to change the world. And I hope that people feel like, if they feel like they're insignificant or small, that they look within themselves and find something powerful, and they use that to change the world too.
Ready?
And so I heard there was some stuff online, like on Instagram, on these different social media networks, on how they were hashtagging her, not my Harriet, because she was from England, you know? But even though she's from England, she's still African descent.
I believe because I think she played the part very well, even though she was from England, and I think that she did a really good job. And I don't really think that makes any sense, because she's still from African descent. So I don't think that it really matters where she's from. The fact that I feel like she understood what she was doing and she really believed in the part that she was playing. So I think that she did a phenomenal job.
Let's hop right into the music by Terrence Blanchard. He was actually at one of the plays I've seen. He was doing music over there. It was a Bud Not Buddy play based off the book by Christopher Paul Curtis, and I actually saw him at the Kennedy Center where they had performed.
I really liked the music. The music was phenomenal, especially in the very tense parts. For example, when they were in the carriage and they almost got caught because the slave catchers were on the bridge, since they were so angry that Moses, the N-word girl, was stealing their slaves. And also when Harriet was in the water and she prayed and then she came out and then everyone believed her and they went in the water.
I like how the music really impacted the way and the feeling of the scenes that it was put into, and like some movies, like when you put music into stuff, it doesn't really match. But I feel like in every scene and every point in time where the music was used, it just matched the movie in every single way.
Thank you all for watching my shows. It really means a lot to me. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Catch my full episodes on YouTube at The Shelemiah Show. Thank you all for a wonderful first season. If you're doing something great in the community and would like to be featured on my show, email me at theshelemiahshow@gmail.com. Don't forget, you can catch me live daily at 7 p.m., Comcast 77 and Verizon 11. Thanks, and see you next decade.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in